Well, it's been a while since I've done a review of an episode of Dark because I got interrupted by Hurricane Laura and all that sort of thing, and then had to seriously question if I want to keep my Netflix subscription after recent events. It's one of those things. There's a lot of things on Netflix I like, but at the same time, my money also funds things I don't, and I don't know. Going for so, I do recommend the series Dark, but you might want to look to get the Blu-ray and forget about Netflix. So anyway, I'm going to finish out Dark, but after that, who knows? And I figured, hey, I'll just watch it all at once after all, but I just really don't have the time for it. So I'll finish this out, and we'll see what happens. You would think the loss of $8 billion would send a message, but apparently they're standing firm on that, and it's disgusting. Anyway, Life and Death is the title of this episode. I believe it's the fifth episode of Dark. And, we get a bit of a philosophical take on life and the possibility that you live 3 lives, And so maybe that explains where they show that. And then, of course, it's the old myth about the riddle that the griffin had, about their creature that in the morning walks on 4 legs, in the middle of the day walks on 2, and then by night is walking on 3 or something like that. And the answer is man, because when you're born, you're a baby, you're crawling on all 4s. When you're an adult, you walk on 2 legs, and when you're old, you need a cane, so you have 3. So that's. And so this refers to it. You first you lose your naivete, and then your innocence, and then you die. So that's the 3 versions of death. And then you've seen 3 forms coming out in this season with the character called the Unknown in the credits. I refer to them the 3 who are 1, which is apparently the offspring of Jonas and Martha, and he and his other selves have been running around killing people throughout the series. Conspicuously absent in this episode. But there is another 3 who is 1 in here. And it's also, of course, I'm watching this episode at a time, is how I wanted to watch it. But the theories that come into my head that perhaps there is yet another timeline that makes it 3 rather than just the 2 we have here now, as a result of all this manipulation of time. But I'll find out. But you had the boy, the man, and then the old man, and they were all the same. So now, at the end here, and you had a couple of shocking deaths here. Well, 2. Well, I guess 3 if you throw in poor Peter in the post-apocalyptic version of the town, trying to defend his poor daughter. And that fits in. You wonder, how does she end up being the woman that she becomes in the post-apocalyptic world? And, well, now you know. This horrific end, and her father trying to save her, and it costs him his life and all that, and she ends up having to save herself, and it's all very horrific, and it just fits in well. Another thing about Peter is that they don't knock it out of the park every time, but when they cast younger versions of the older people, they're really good at it. I didn't really look into the credits, and I'm wondering, because could this actor possibly be related to the guy playing Peter? I don't know. But he does look like he could be the young version of this guy. So we see him. Not so much with the girl who plays Charlotte, but, and it's still there. But it's always this thing, Jonas is on his mission to try to correct everything, and there's just no way. It gets more and more complicated. He's way in and over his head. And it just gets deeper and deeper and all this. And even if he did, yeah, their lives are still messed up because they're in these terrible soap operas. So, but in the end, of course, he is the main shocking death. Yeah, spoiler, he dies at the end of this, getting shot by a version of Martha. Now, is she the version of the one that he's just now hooked up with? She's in the new timeline where he never existed, but then they hooked up in last episode, and this is supposed to result in the birth of the unknown. And as a result of this, at some point, this version of Martha is convinced to turn on him. It's that's what I wonder. Or is she absolutely, because they meet, she's standing there completely confused, and then here's this other version of it, and she sees two other versions of herself. And there's the more adult Martha, who's been living in the post-apocalyptic world, and then there's her very older version, who's kind of like the leader of all this, the Eva to Jonas's Adam. And but then this young version of her pulls a gun out and shoots Jonas. Now, that's one way of preventing what they were up against, apparently, if they're up against Adam, because without Jonas, how can Adam exist? Is Adam really Jonas? Or is he a Jonas from another time? And then there's the other, the middle-aged Jonas. How does he exist? And that sets all this into, and it creates the paradoxes that what happened as a result of that. But I'll have to wait till next episode, huh? Of course, what happens? Well, he's dying on the floor, and what does Martha, the Martha that didn't shoot him, so there were 4 Marthas at this point. She says, I'm going to fix this, which is the exact same thing he told the dying Martha when Adam killed Martha. He's, I can't believe it. His future self would kill the one girl he loved and all this stuff. And so now she's in his position for him, even though, boy, what a quick love, huh? But she just felt he was the one she was always waiting for, and that type of thing. And of course, it's a brilliant series. The rich details and how it all folds in, and then just when you think, how can they possibly tie it in? It's like I said about the deaf girl, and you see how she becomes who she is in the post-apocalyptic world. Of course, her other self, who isn't deaf, is sleeping comfortably on the sofa with her father, so everything's fine. Well, not for the moment, might be, but anyway. So, yes, another great episode. Doesn't really do anything to mess it up. Of course, worried that anything could, and that, this was just a shocking scene, and there'll be some stupid explanation as to how this works. How can Jonas die? But I'm very trustful that they're capable of playing this out, and there's only a couple episodes left. I can't even remember how many they have in the series. Let's see here. I'm looking at it right now. 8. Oh, good Lord. I only have 3 more episodes to go. So how are they going to do this? Oh, geez. Okay, well, we'll get right on that, and we'll see how that turns out. So going strong, but yes, in light of recent events, I would suggest you probably just want to get the Blu-ray. Dark, and it's a sad situation. Perhaps they'll make amends for it, but right now it doesn't seem to be, and they can't just say, we're sorry about a poster. It's not the poster. I mean, the trailer alone, which I did watch the trailer, and the message of that trailer to that, I've already been through. I did a video on it. So I don't know what the future holds for Netflix as far as I'm concerned as of now. A lot of people have already just canceled, and I perfectly understand that. It's just such a terrible decision on their part. Anyway, there's Dark, which is a far superior thing than anything that film could be, and highly recommended, but you might have to wait for the 3rd season to be on Blu-ray before you can see it.